guys. The 28th proverb. You want me to read this time since you read the last two
This
times?
isn't enough.
Okay. If I stumble too much, you can jump in. Right. So I'm going to read from the New King James Version. 28th proverb says this: "The wicked flee when no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. Because of the transgression of a land, many are its princes. But by a man of understanding and knowledge, right will be prolonged. A poor man who oppresses the poor is like a driving rain which leaves no flood. Those who forsake the law praise the wicked, but such as keep the law contend with them. Evil men do not understand justice, but those who seek the Lord understand all. Better is the poor who walks in his integrity than one perverse in his ways, though he be rich. Whoever keeps the law is a discerning son, but a companion of gluttons shames his father. One who increases his possessions by usury and exhortation gathers it for him, who will be pity to the poor. One who turns away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer is an abomination. Whoever causes the upright to go astray in an evil way, he himself will fall into his own pit, but the blameless will inherit good. The rich man is wise in his own eyes, but the poor who has understanding searches him out. When the righteous rejoice, there is great glory, but when the wicked arise, men hide themselves. He who covers his sins will not prosper, but whoever confesses and forsakes them will have mercy. Happy is the man who is always reverent, but he who hardens his heart will fall into calamity. Like a roaring lion and a charging bear is a wicked ruler over people. A ruler who lacks understanding is a great oppressor, but he who hates covetousness will prolong his days. A man burdened with bloodshed will flee into a pit. Let no one help him. Whoever walks blamelessly will be saved, but he who is perverse in his ways will suddenly fall. He who tills his land will have plenty of bread, but he who follows frivolity will have poverty enough. A faithful man will abound with blessings, but he who hastens to be rich will not go unpunished. To show partiality is not good, because for a piece of bread, a man will transgress. A man with an evil eye hastens after riches and does not consider that poverty will come upon him. He who rebukes a man will find more favor afterward than he who flatters with the tongue. Whoever robs his father or his mother and says it is no transgression, the same is companion to a destroyer. He who is of a proud heart stirs up strife, but he who trusts in the Lord will be prospered. He who trusts in his own heart is a fool, but whoever walks wisely will be delivered. He who gives to the poor will not lack, but he who hides his eyes will have many curses. When the wicked arise, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase. That's the
Mine says the righteous thrive.
Okay. That's the 28th proverb. I read the King James Version. Again, we encourage you to read it in a different version of your own. Kind of compare it. It's cool to do it if you do a replay. And while I'm reading, you read the other version as well. You can kind of hear them both. Your brain kind of does this funny translation thing. It kind of explodes. You can't heal what you won't reveal. You can't heal what you won't reveal. We're coming from the 28th verse, the 13th verse, which says, he who covers his sins will not prosper, but whoever confesses forsakes them. Whoever confesses and forsakes them will have mercy. And what's yours? Your translation?
13.
Yeah.
I have the New International. He who conceals his sins does not prosper, but whoever confesses and renounces them finds mercy.
Let me pull it out in the message for you, just since it's sitting here. Give me a second. I should have been ready. My bad. 13th says, You can't whitewash your sins and get by with it. You find mercy by admitting and leaving them.
Mhm.
So our thought for today is you can't heal what you won't reveal. So here's what we wrote. We said, he who covers his sins, mistakes, and blunders will not prosper. Since Adam and Eve, human instinct leads us to cover our sins.
Mhm.
Our conscience makes us ashamed of our sin, and we don't want others to see it.
Right.
Right? We even think we can hide it from God. Right? Yet this natural instinct to cover sin, it just doesn't benefit us. There's no good in it, right? Even though it kind of feels good as we're doing it, because
Or feel like we're getting away with something.
There you go, right? So it prevents us from being real about our own condition to ourselves and before God. So here are some of the many ways that folks attempt to hide the mistakes and the missteps, because sometimes it's just a misstep.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
you just stepped wrong. You didn't mean it.
And we make it larger
Yes.
because we've hidden it.
Yes.
Because then we have to say something else to hide what we hid.
Right,
It just
right.
continues on.
Right.
So it's best to just, acknowledge that you did what you did.
Yeah, sometimes it's not even.
And it's not for other people. It's
Yeah.
not like you have to tell other people, but you need to acknowledge it yourself and with God.
Right.
That's where it's most important.
But I think sometimes we don't acknowledge it ourselves because of other people. We don't want other people to know.
Yeah.
That we either made a mistake or we had a certain thought or we think a certain way or have a certain pattern in our life. But everyone has missteps.
Absolutely.
And everyone has mistakes. So here's some of the ways that we often kind of attempt to hide them. So we're going to give you, 7 ways. The first one is excuses and justifications. Probably number 1 on the list. Excuses and justifications.
Because it makes you feel better about your poor choices.
Right.
If you don't have to feel what you did, then you think it goes away, and it makes you feel better about your choice.
Right.
Knowing all along that thing is coming back around somewhere. Exposure of that thing is coming back around. If you have not at least acknowledged it to yourself and God,
Right.
it's coming back.
So that whole excuses and justifications thing, we are all very good at it, especially with ourselves.
Adam, very first one.
Right. We can
I
talk.
only did this because of that woman you gave me.
Yeah.
He took certain parts. I did this, but it was because of her that you gave me.
Right.
So he included everyone on his justification.
Right. In Cain's mind, he was justified for killing his brother Abel. God accepted his offering more than
But not mine.
Yeah.
Am I his keeper?
Right.
And the answer is actually yes.
We could justify anything,
Mhm.
anything at all. Not being nice to our spouse, or getting upset. We can justify it anyway.
You're not nice to me?
She breathed wrong, looked at me
You're
wrong.
not nice to me.
We're human, right? So justification is that conversation you have with yourself where you put something in place instead of just acknowledging the issue, acknowledging the misstep, acknowledging the shortcoming, acknowledging the humanism that you might have. When you start to talk yourself, but that's because, but that's why, if they didn't, then you are justifying. All right? And you're making an excuse. I'm tired.
Right.
But we're 55 and 56, and we're at least doing this. That's excuses. Right? Secrecy.
Wait, I like that one. Hold on, brother.
I mean, there's truth in them. That's why it's a justification, because there's partial truth in it. But it's how far do you take? Do you lean on that
all the time
to not accomplish what
right.
you possibly
Now that's the difference.
Right.
If you're leaning on that to cover, or to stop yourself from doing something else, then that's a that's a hot mess.
Right.
Number 2 is secrecy. Secrecy.
So what no one can see, we don't have to admit it.
Right.
We don't have to. We don't just not have to admit it. We don't have to own it. And here's the big one. We don't have to tend to it.
Yeah.
We don't have to work on it.
Yeah.
No one sees it. It's in secrecy. We can lock it away. We can put it in our closet, and it can sit there dormant, for a few months or whatever the case may be, and then we can crack that closet open and look at it, and boom, we find ourselves operating in that thing. or that thing influencing our choices and our operation, So secrecy is another way that we kind of hide our mistakes, hide our missteps. We hide the poor principles or the bad behaviors.
Character.
Yes, that we're operating in. Because some of these things are ongoing. If you're a person that has, an addiction or things of that sort, it can be an ongoing battle that you have. So when you heal it, when you hide it, keep it in secret, it gives it a chance to grow and to fester and to get stronger, and then the door opens and you find yourself in the middle of that thing. Man, you got all the shame, you got all the hurt, you got all the exposure. You beat it down a little bit, you get yourself together, but you shut the door and hide it in secrecy again. And guess what?
Here it comes.
Here it comes again. It starts all over again, right?
There was yesterday while I was cleaning up and walking through the house, I said to God, Lord, expose everything that is hidden, that should not be hidden. And make me ready to receive whatever it is that I need to receive to accept what I'm doing or what is being done. Wow. Like sometimes we just have to prepare our hearts. So for yesterday, I don't know why, but for some reason that was, and I didn't even really know what life application was today. But for some reason yesterday, while I was washing dishes and getting the greens ready, I was asking the Lord to reveal and to show me the things that are not like him, the things that I don't even want to see, because how it makes us feel when we see it. Show me anyway. Show me anyway. Prepare my heart for it so that I can better, live and move, so that I can do all the things that I'm called to do or supposed to do, even in our relationship. Because sometimes people would like to pretend that life is perfect, and it's not. There is no such thing. We are striving for for the perfection that is supposed to be on our lives. I'm not striving for someone else's stuff.
Yeah.
But that was my prayer yesterday.
Wow.
Lord, just reveal it to me and just show me and make me ready to receive it and accept it. So,
and that's a good thing too, because our society with social media perpetuates that perfection, that illusion.
Yeah, definitely.
You can show what you want on the internet, but
so true.
Yeah, I had another thought and lost it. It's gone. So we'll let that roll.
Number 3.
The number 3 is lies. So a lie basically is a little different than justification. They're first cousins. But the lie piece, I know what I was going to say. Hope. Someone on your thing says hope is saying she's loving the interpretation. So I wanted to acknowledge it.
I hope.
So
I can't too.
Lies are first cousins to that whole excuses and justifications piece. So a lie basically to not expose a thing means you're creating this false reality. So I'm literally on purpose saying something that is the opposite of what's real.
Right.
Right. So I am creating a false reality that I live in and want others to live in as well. So I'm creating that. So
yeah.
I don't know all the time when we lie if we're lying to convince ourselves,
right,
or if we're lying to convince others, or some combination of the both. Either way, it's a false reality that we create because we do it on purpose.
And then I feel like all of these things go together, because it starts out with this excuses and justification as you are secretly hiding whatever. And then eventually when you have to speak on something related to it, it creates that lie. It makes it even easier to lie because you justified it and you kept it, you made excuses for it, excusing yourself.
Right. So I'm going to give you a quick example, excuses and justification. There's these videos that I was supposed to have created over the weekend and have them ready today. And I kept pushing it off. I kept pushing it off. They weren't hard to do. I just kept pushing it off. And I kept making excuses. Well, I'm tired. I'll get to it. I need to do this first. I need to do that first. So those are excuses and justifications, pushing them off, right? So a lie, on the other hand, I would talk to the people today and say, well, my computer broke. That's the lie, right? So why I call them first cousins? Because the purpose of them both was to push away me actually doing the task that I needed to do. Just one of them, I blatantly told a story, right? The other one, I kept telling myself, well, you can't do it now because this. You'll get to it, or you got these 5 things to do. That's a lot on you. You'll still get to it. So justifications and excuses, secrecy, lies, like Kim said, are all first cousins. I tried to give you that example. Hopefully you can kind of see how they kind of tie together.
Not that he did those things. He's saying if he did.
Yeah. So no, I didn't.
I know. I'm saying you haven't even
right
yet.
So the fourth one, are schemes to evade responsibility. Schemes to evade responsibility. So this is basically how we wrote it, was transference. So I'm going to look at somebody else and I'm going to transfer my feelings, my responsibility, and deflect it and transfer it onto somebody else, or some other thing that took place. Very similar to an excuse or a justification, right? So in other words, I'm on that whole scheme to evade that responsibility is always somebody else's fault.
Right.
It's always on somebody else. It's the system.
Yeah.
Growing up, that's what we heard all the time. It's the system. The man got his foot on your neck, kind of thing.
Well, and that may be true on some instances, but not when it comes to the stuff that you're responsible for.
Right. Well, it was always true, but it wasn't a reason not to push forward.
That's really good.
So it was always true. Just no reason. So that's why we're seeing schemes to evade responsibility.
And I want to be careful with the word "the man." Hold on. So for us, I think what we really mean by that, or what I would mean by that, is that there is always a force that is fighting against me. So I don't want us to lock in and call ourselves, because see, then it comes to justifications and excuses of blaming a particular person. To me, there's a spiritual battle. So that spiritual battle is whoever is on the other side, or whatever is on the other side, that stops you from fulfilling purpose or whatever. That would be the man.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Another quick example of that one is, if you ever talk to a child, especially a preteen, and they're having, in that time where they're going through puberty, hormones are changing, and they're having issues with authority or issues with shifts and changes in life. And we know this because we raised 5 children in our household. So what will happen is, as you're talking to them, you can hear, and you're giving them solutions or walking them through solutions for whatever issue it is that you want them to address. You will hear them 90% of the time talk about what others are doing. So every time you give a solution, there's a but, this, but that, and it doesn't ever come back to, okay, so what can you control? Because that's a skill that the youngster has to learn. I mean, I'm not coming at young folks.
No, because it's
a skill they got to learn. That's what you're trying to teach them. But that's the best example I can give you. I didn't want to use adults because we have adults who do that as well. They almost don't want a solution. And I didn't want to come off negative, but that's kind of what it happens.
Some people, whether they be adults or children.
So there's this scheme to evade the responsibility that if I just do this, then all that will go away. So instead of them doing that, they'll look over here and say, but. So that's another, if you can't heal, you can't heal what you won't reveal. What's the next one?
So another way that many of us attempt to hide mistakes is time. So we said excuses, justification, secrecy, lies, schemes to evade responsibility, and now time. If we wait it out, the spotlight dims and we don't have to address it.
Yep.
That's another excuse we tell ourselves. Just wait it out. I won't have to say anything. A lot of that is done in pop culture, where they say, just wait till the smoke clears before you speak on it. I mean, and that could be okay at sometimes as long as you address you.
Right.
I think the most important person is to address you and God and those who are close to you. Right. Everybody does not need to know. Everyone in the world doesn't need to know what you did right or wrong. Right. They don't. Right. And then when the repenting or apologizing, that has to happen within those people who it's directly touching. So, but that time thing, that can be very tricky.
So we're waiting it out so we don't have to address it.
Yeah.
Because again, we're looking at what others are thinking. We're judging ourselves with what others are thinking. So the point of this is that if there is an issue, if there's something that needs to change, if there's something that you see can be done better within yourself, you don't always have to tell folks you're working on it.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
it's not their business.
You know, you can work on it, right? You don't have to tell them. But what folks will do to neglect it is wait until there's no talk about it.
Right.
And
then smoke clears.
Then step back up like nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in that time that you were waiting, if you were working on you, that's a good thing, you know. But if you weren't,
right,
then you just kind of healed. Mm-hmm. You just kind of hid, and now you can't heal because you didn't reveal it.
Yeah.
All right. Next one, tears. Right.
Oh yeah.
So we try to get others to focus on our feelings. Woe is me. Look what's happening to me.
Nobody understands all that I'm dealing with.
Right.
And you're right. Those are true.
They're all true.
That's true. You know, well, we feel bad that this is happening with us or with you or whatever.
Right.
But that's still no excuse not to, work on you.
The issue.
There is no excuse. You still have to work on you.
Yes. You know, so those things are all true. The feelings are all true. Somebody might feel for you.
And the tears are real.
Yes.
But this should not be the thing that helps you to conceal what's really happening so that you don't address it.
Because tears won't fix a thing.
Yeah, it's not going to fix it.
And the woe is me is not going to make anything better.
Yeah.
What's it going to do is going to make you feel good right then because you got all this attention.
So now here's the excuses, the justification, the reason for secrecy. Right. All of that happens. And then even the putting that responsibility on someone else to make you feel okay about it.
Because what's going to happen is that person, after they tend to you for that moment, they're going to go about their own. Mm-hmm. And you're still stuck there. But if you're one that relies on tears, now you're going to have a problem with the person that's going on about their business because you're thinking it's their responsibility to make you feel better.
Or they didn't care.
Right.
I had someone say to me something similar like that to me before. Well, you act like you didn't care. Well, I did care, but it wasn't my thing to care for. So it's I'm caring about you, but that issue was not my thing to care for.
Right.
That was still yours.
Right.
I had empathy for your situation, but it was still your responsibility to work on it.
So we kind of seek sympathy to camouflage the issue.
Absolutely.
That's what it's about. And I'll give you this for especially Christian folks. And Jesus, right? So Jesus walked through a city, and I don't know which city it was, but he walked through a city, him and his disciples, and it just said that he walked through the city. Mm-hmm. No miracles were done, no prayer, nothing was changed. He walked in the city, walked through it, and walked out. Mm-hmm. Jesus, the Son of God, who was, making arms grow and people walk and all kinds of stuff, feeding 5,000, he's in your city, walks through. Now, every city has something wrong. Mm-hmm. He's in your city, he walks through that city, and nothing happens, right? Jesus was okay with that, right? Why? Well, because no one came to get anything from him. So why am I giving you that example? I'm trying to tie together that sometimes, you guys, it's all right if, someone has an issue that you're not the one that tends to it.
Right.
It's their issue, not yours. And if they don't reveal it in a way that it can be tended to, then you're going to be Jesus. You're going to be who you are with all that you have to offer, and you're just going to walk through that city and come out the other end and go to what's next. So don't be feel bad on yourself is what I'm trying to say to you. That was kind of like a sidebar.
And also to look at his example, to go through something. So he came through your city. So there's a beginning and then there's a middle, there's the end. And that was his example of showing you also that you can come through a situation. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what he did. He came through your city as your example. We need to also pay very close attention of all the things that he was experiencing at that time. Right. But he was able to go through things. And that's the same thing we can do. We need to go through.
So your tears, your feelings are your responsibility. And someone
no sympathy for camouflaging.
Right.
So we have excuses, justification, secrecy, lies, hoping that someone else takes the responsibility with those schemes. We have time, we have tears, and our last one, ceremonies or sacraments.
Right. So a lot of times we go through these motions, right, to try to substitute for authentic change. and I used to find this in the church I kind of came up with. In every Sunday, people came to the altar, you know, to ask for forgiveness, you know, or to you know, try to atone for whatever choices we made through the week. Now there were some issues with that because it was like a dogmatic environment and it was about deeds and works. So just kind of throw that legalism aside and focus on the ceremony. So the ceremony was, if I do this, then whatever my issues were now wiped away and it's okay. Mm-hmm. Instead of working on the issue and trying to decrease the amount of time or the frequency of that issue so that you can, you know, be a better version of yourself. We do that. We have a way of apologizing, you know, to folks who we're close to or around all the time. We might.
Who know?
Yes.
Let's just correct that. We come apologizing to people who know what you did.
Yes, yes.
Because that's where where they take the weight off, and once they know, I mean, Newt's saying how folks know, the city knows something that you've been doing, you've done wrong, and then you're in a service and you walk down that aisle. I'm not saying if your heart's right, but you go down that aisle and everyone knows what you did, and you walk down that aisle through in some type of ceremony or sacrament. But when you leave there, you've not, well, before you left there, you really not fixed anything. You just went down there so that everyone else would see, and the weight of whatever you had to deal with in that community is lifted. Well, he went to the altar, you know.
Right.
So,
exactly. So
that can be tricky.
So that's what we're saying.
If you're not working on you.
Right. So be careful not to put routines and practices and patterns in place of you actually doing work on yourself. That's what we're saying.
The repentance is only part one.
Right.
So it's nothing wrong with repenting. And there's nothing wrong with going to the altar. And there's nothing wrong with apologizing. What happens is if you stop there and you do nothing to work on yourself so that you don't repeat.
Right. Right. So I would even stretch that a little if you think about that word repentance, because it's not just the apology portion. It's an action word, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why I said repent.
So fully repent. Put the action in with it. Is that what
Which means turn around.
Right. So it's more than just, I don't know how to say it. Yeah, it's more than just apologize. It's more than just some emotion. If you're substituting emotions, routines, patterns for actually doing work to change a thing, then you're really hiding that thing. Yeah. You're not really addressing it.
Remember, the topic today is you can't heal what you won't reveal. So these things that we are listing, we're just showing you different ways of how the enemy, or how you, enemy in you, causes you to hide and to justify some of the behaviors and some of the actions that we do that stop us from really being being the full ourselves, or being really who God created us to be. Right. So these are just a list of things that we will use so that we don't change, or we don't become that better version.
Right. Nothing
wrong with repenting, apologizing, nothing wrong with going to the altar, nothing wrong with any of those things. What's wrong is when you don't do the work afterwards.
Gotta walk it out.
Walk
it out. So the last little thing we have written is confession, transparency, vulnerability, and action are all necessary in order to progress past one's current position. This principle applies to every area and capacity of life, both personal and professional. Confession, transparency, vulnerability, and action. The warm up again. Just go ahead and lift those knees up high as you can. Right. Keep those arms at a 90. Pump the arms. Your feet are flat on the ground right now. Right. Keeping your core tight. Focusing on your posture. So go ahead and just walk it out. We're going into the run progression. Again, your feet are flat, right? I try to tuck my chin in to keep my chest up, to keep my posture there. I kind of tuck my hips a little so that I am engaging my core as much as I can. Right? Now we're going to go from flat feet up to the toes. So keep marching, but now your heels are off the floor. That's right. So we're progressing into a run. After this, we're going to go into a slow jog and then a faster jog. Can we show you the modified moves? That's it. March it out. Warm those calves up. So you're trying to come up, push your toes down, come up, raise those calves up. Going to the slow jog in 3, 2, 1. That's it. Push it off. So it's going to feel a little funny the first few. You're probably still a little stiff.
And we're just flat foot for our slow jog.
So we're going to pick it up in just a little bit. Get your heart pumping. 3, 2, 1. Just go a little faster. Now you go at your own pace. Do the best you can do. Try to keep those knees up, body high. Breathe it out. Good job. Neck nice and long. Arms moving. 3, 2, 1. Come together. Arms down. Jack feet. Kim has the modified move. So she's low impact. Difference with me is I'm just hopping a little.
I'm just step touch, and I'm doing double.
So 4, 3, 2, 1, out, 2, into. Into. Good job. Keep that core tight so you're not putting all this banging weight into your lower back. Push the balls to the feet to the ground. Pop back up. Hands pressed together. About to add arms in. Ready? Go. That's it. I'm already breathing again. Don't know what that's about.
It's warm down here today.
In a couple seconds, we're going to single jacks. Ready, go. Go at your pace. Warm those shoulders up. If you can take your hands all the way up, take them up. If you can't, then a jack like I'm doing will work. Now you're soft on your knees every time you come down. Your knees are cushions, shock absorbers. So you let those knees bend a little every time you hit the ground. All right, bring your feet together. We're gonna go lunge progression. So side, turn the other side, side. Back knee down. Woo! Stepping forward. Keep your chest nice and high. Don't lean forward. Don't lean back. So now we're going to hop back to the other side.
We're just going to still turn. Ours is just an easy turn.
Keep those elbows up for balance. Head eyes to the front. Back knee down. You're not going too low. We'll go down a little low in a minute. We're going to progress a little bit more in a few seconds. 3, 2, 1. Now touch your knee. As you touch your knee, it takes you a little lower. Makes you put your chest a little higher. Keep that core. Every time you come up, you're engaging that core. Side to side. Back knee down in the back. Head and eyes up. Chest high. Good job.
Sorry, I guess there's a bit of rhythm with you. So we don't trip over each other's.
In 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to touch the floor.
Now my modified It's similar. We just aren't going the whole way down depending on your legs, but it's low impact. We're not bouncing. We're reaching.
With me, you go as low as you can. Tighten that core when you go to the floor. Back knee down. Head neutral spine. 3, 2, 1. Come on up. Plant the right foot. Left heel. Forward and back. So you run. I'll do it from the side for you. So you want that back heel. See how my back leg is slightly bent? My butt's pushing back, so I'm putting weight in that thigh. And I'm just moving that front heel up and down. So it looks like this. So you're putting weight right here. In that back heel. Switch legs. Doesn't look like you're doing much.
Oh, but it is.
With that weight you're putting in that front thigh, is really working.
Now Newt's turning so you can see. It's not actual a turn move.
So your weight's in the heel of the supporting leg. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're gonna go to a mountain climber progression. So you're gonna spread it out. Move left. Move right. Move left. Move right. Again, your chest is up, chin tucked, neck long, shoulders down.
Remember, we're just taking steps. We're not hopping. Breathe in.
Now we're gonna add the mountain climber. We'll pick your knees up a little higher.
Low impact is not doing that. We're shifting our feet. We're not picking our knees up. This is low impact for us.
So you are keeping those shoulders low, neck long. You're lifting those knees, body high. 3, 2, 1. Go right to a jump rope.
Our jump rope is just getting on the toe and not jumping.
So you're spreading your toes, pushing the balls of your feet into the floor, working those calves, right? I'm kind of tightening my legs a little, my butt a little, so that I keep it in my core, keep my body up high. So in a second, we're gonna go forward, back with the jump rope, just go up and back.
And we're just stepping up, stepping back.
So when you're going up, your body is high up in the air, you're using that core, you're using this piece right here. So you're not resting, you're just pushing off. As soon as you touch, you push off. That's it. You should feel that in your core and in your calves.
Feel that in my arms for sure.
So now we're going up, back, slow. I turn to the side for you.
See my modified. Oh, my modified is what we just did. Just make the steps larger.
Slightly bend the knees to protect yourself. Basically, you're doing a forward back squat. Just not a low squat. Keep your arms moving. Keep that chest spread open. Good job. We're going to a higher impact move. Ready? Going to what's called a half tuck jump. So do it from the side for me. So just bring your legs up just a little. Just focus on getting your heart rate up. Spread your toes. Balls of your feet touch the floor. Pop right back up. Keep your body up high. Use that core. Work those lungs. 3, 2, 1. Going to the burnout. Jumping jacks. Good work.
Good job, Gwen.
That's it. That's it. Get your jumping jacks at your pace. Neck long. Shoulders down. Knees catching up the shock. 2, 1. Now we're going to that touch the floor. Back knee down.
One leg might go lower than the other. That's okay. Do what you do.
Do your best. Forget the rest. Back knee down, chest high. Working that front leg. Working that core. 3, 2, 1. Going to the mountain climbers. That's it. Move left. Move right. Left.
We're holding our core tight. Modified people, well, everyone, but definitely for the modified.
So you can see it from the side. Side to side. Use that oblique.
Arms.
Almost there. Don't get lazy. Keep the knees up.
Modified is not doing knees high.
Ready? Tuck jump. Go. Good work. Keep it going. Tighten that core. Keep breathing. Don't bump your head. 3, 2, 1. Feet apart. Going to a slow squat. Down and up. Chest up. Good job. Chest up, butt back.
Tighten your butt.
Squeeze when you come up. Push it back. Squeeze when you come up. Squeeze.
This is a little bit of a rest, guys, while you work.
So when you're going back down, you have the opportunity to tighten that core and push it back up. Keep that chest high. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're gonna go low and at a hop squat. Kim's pulsing, I'm hopping. So what am I thinking? I'm just coming an inch off the floor. I'm thinking butt low, chest high, tucked in. I'm not pushing out too much.
Walk it out. Wow.
Stay as low as you can go. Set it up. We'll go up 2, back 2. Ready? Up 2. Same thing.
Bar stays the same, guys.
That's it. Opportunity for me to use my core. Opportunity to keep my chest high. That's it. If you can go lower, go lower. If you can't, stay where you are.
Reset if you need to.
Keep it moving. 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. We're going to hop, hop, squat to the left. So hop, hop, squat. Hop, hop, squat. That's it.
Step it over and squat.
Squat. That's it. Tuck the booty under when you come up. Push it back when you go down. Work those legs. Work that core. 3, 2, 1. Set up on your mark.
Erasers.
Bring it up. Run. Set. Run. Now when you're coming up, you're pushing that front leg in. Working that quad.
Remember,
Set.
we're not
Push it.
we're not running. We are on our toes for
Set.
our run.
Go. So now we're gonna go up, downs. Show it to you from the side. Ready? Up. So I'm just touching the floor, kicking that front leg forward. Butt down, back leg, back knee
You're not
down.
hopping. Go in.
This is intense on your front leg.
Definitely intense on the front leg.
You'll start to feel a good sweat. Don't run from it.
Woo!
Run to it. 2, 1.
Shake it out.
Go to the other side. You ready? Down. Let's go.
This is the hard
Down.
leg for me, guys. So
Sprint. Set. Sprint. Woo! Ready for the up downs? I'm stalling. Ready? Go.
Sorry, guys, I'm
Woo!
still doing my runs.
Now one leg's gonna be easier than the other. That's it. Up back. Tighten that core when you come up. Use that leg. Back is flat. Head neutral spine. Breathing on the work. 2, 1. Come on, build a switch kick. Active rest. Active recovery. So, heads up. I'm breathing. Shoulders in, elbows in, shoulders long. And I'm just lifting my legs.
Kicking our leg out.
So,
It's like a gentle kick out, controlled.
putting it in your core. So you're not just kicking with your knees. You're kind of lifting. Lift kick, if that makes sense. Because you want to get it in the core. Now we're going up to your toes. Same thing, up to your toes. We'll build a switch kick. So that kick that you got at the end, that's not the emphasis. The emphasis is the lift kick, lift kick, lift kick. All right?
We're on our tippy toes, modifiers.
So we're about to turn it up a little bit into a low running switch kick. You ready? 3, 2, 1. So now it's the same thing. We're just moving.
We're shuffling our foot, keeping our core tight. Whew.
Try to keep those arms at a 90. So you're tensing your shoulders, keeping it in your obliques. So from the low switch kick, we're gonna go to a higher switch kick. Go as high as you can.
Keep in mind,
Keep
we're
the heel
still
out.
just kicking. Modifiers.
Stay in there.
Put that pressure on your knees. Just kick it out. Keep moving.
Good work. Put it in that core. At your own pace, as fast as you can go. Almost there. Keep the chest high.
And we're on our toes.
Stay in there. 3, 2, 1. Woo! To the running lunge. So keep those elbows bent. It's kind of an active recovery here. Butt tight, back tight. Chin up, shoulders back. Core tight. Go on the split lunge agility. So go up center, back center. Ready, go. Up center, back center. Up center, up center. Again, keep that posture high. You're thinking about tall body.
Core tight.
Toes spread on the balls of your feet. Using those calves. Squeezing that booty a little bit. So you're keeping it in the legs and core. Now we're gonna go out and in with the feet. So out and in. Go out and in with your arms as well. Keeping that chest high. Kim's got the modified move looking smooth.
We're just stepping, guys.
You there? So I'm gonna put it all together. Up center, back center, and out in. Ready? Go. Up center, out wide 2. Up center, out wide 2. Now keep your body tight. Combine all the movements. Hey, 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 hey. That's it. That's it. Keep the body tight. Use that core. Use those legs. That's it. Go to the hop, hop, squat. Remember that? Ready, go. Hop, hop, squat.
Step, squat.
That's it. What are you doing to burn out? You push. You work a little harder. You go a little more. When you feel like you can't do any more, then you do 3 more. Tell yourself, you got this. It's me against me. I can always beat myself, I think. You ready? Up, down. Get them in. Up, down. Back knee down. That's it. Make sure that heel comes forward. Try to keep the back straight. Chin tucked. Head neutral spine. Going to the other side. Ready? Go. Good work. This side, my form's a little better. At least I think it is. Find out when I watch the video. Good work. We're going to that switch kick. Ready? Bring it out. Ha. I'm trying to get mine up a little higher this time.
Gentle on those knees for you who are modifying. And you are step kick with your arms moving. And you can speed up the pace for yourself or challenge yourself even more.
3, 2, 1. Speed and agility. Ready to go. Gotta breathe, y'all. Up, center. Right. Up, center. Out. Up, center. Back, center. Good job. Woo! Feet wide. Going to a power move progression. I needed that rest. Up and back.
And we are just tightening our core and pushing it out like we're pushing something away.
Tightening that core every time you come up. It's like doing a crunch in the air.
Yeah, it is.
Now, keep your feet side to side. You're a little low. They're just gonna move the lower half of your body. Keeping that core tight. Tucking those hips. Core tight. Chin tucked. Side to side. Trying to get your hips still. Working those hips. Stay there. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Now we're going to speed knee. Kim is just stepping. I got the little hop in the middle. So you see, I'm twisting my shoulders so that I can engage that oblique. So lift and twist. Speed knee. Breathe and catch your breath, because the next one's a little tougher. Ready? Now speed it up.
Or is it still the same?
Back high, trying to get those knees up. Hands going side to side.
Core tight.
Elbows in. That's it. That's it.
Woo! Feel the burn.
There you go. Now you're working. Work doesn't start till you get tired. Almost there.
You got a
Almost
minute,
there.
guys. You got 1 minute.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Right to the jog. Straight jog. Straight in front. Control yourself. That means good body, tall body, long neck, relaxed shoulders, moving those arms on your toes. Work it out. Head neutral spine. 3, 2, 1. Slow jog. Side to side. What happens when you move slow? You gotta use your balance.
And you control the move.
Gotta control. Get that knee up. Get it up. Tighten that core. That's it. Ha! You're almost
slow
there.
one, you should be able to bring your knees higher, because I know that it gives you a chance to lift it as you're tightening the move.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Day 26 or 8, baby.
8. You
Woo.
just finished day 28. Congratulations. Time to cool
Good
down.
work.
Good job, Gwen. She said she's lifting her legs at work. She's in her job. But she said she's going to pull the routine back up when she gets home.
Go straight to the cool down. So, you see my knees aren't going up as high, but I'm moving. The cool down, you want to bring your heart down gradually. You don't want to just stop. So bring your heart down gradually, right? March it out. Now we're going to lift, active stretch. So go ahead and lift those legs. 1, lift it. That's it. Keep the core tight. Try to lift it up. So, you see today my balance is pretty good. Some days it's better than others. Keep that core tight. So now we're going to hold the left side. I talked too soon about my balance. Go to the other side. Pull it up. All right. Now we're going to stretch that quadricep. So pull it up. Keep the knees close to each other. Active stretch. So I have to lift my knee forward and then pull it back. Just active. Active. So we're going to hold it on this side now. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Push the hips forward. Good work. Let's hit the other leg. Get your balance. Push the hip forward. Let it down soft. Now let's get that hip. These are ugly for me. Don't laugh. Kim's look nice on these.
They don't.
So we go down and up.
But thank
Down and up. Try to keep that chest high. Chest high. Now you're going to feel this in your knees if your legs aren't too strong. So don't go down that far. You're going to feel it in your hips. If you're sweating like me, your feet are switching. So we're going to hold this side. Bring it up. We're going to hold the other side. Bring it up. Let's go with the flat back. Bring it up. Down. Bring it up. We're going to go to the flat back. Right? Try to keep that back as flat as possible. Pushing those legs back. You should be stretching those upper quads, your lower back. You're going to feel this one.
Yes, indeed.
Bring it down to the ground. We'll hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to roll up. Roll up, use your core, use your legs. Get about halfway, squeeze that butt to take it out your back. Last thing up is your head. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. We're going back to a flat back again. Bring it down. So you're pushing out. Flat back, looking out in front of you. Head neutral spine. Should be a little easier this time. I feel it. Got that, stretch that back, stretch those hamstrings. You see my hands are still way out in front of me. Right? Now I want you to walk those hands back in between your legs. Grab your ankles. Pull your chest to your knees a little. Not your head, your chest. Right? Put your hands on the floor. Walk your feet together. And I want you to now, stay down. I want you to now just go from side to side, keeping your body down. So you are stretching, using that your lower lats, your lower back. You'll feel that in the twist. One twist side is going to be better than the other. When you come to that side, you're twisting too, you'll feel it in your hamstring as well. So you're trying to keep your knees straight. If you can't, touch the floor with your legs straight and come up. And do it up in the air.
But don't lock your knees. That can be dangerous for you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, just a little cushion. So 3 more, 2 more, 1 more. Come to the center, grab your ankles, keep your feet together, feet on the floor, and push your legs down, push your butt back. Right? Then come back up, straighten your legs. We'll do that one more time. You're gonna feel that in your lower back, and that's gonna be some weight on your quads if they're not that strong. Come on up. Now roll up. 3, 2, squeeze your butt so you get out your lower back. Last thing up is your head. Let's get 3 inhales. That's 2. God, we thank you for another day. The ability to live, move, have our being in you. We pray, God, that you bless us this day to accomplish that which you place in front of us. that will run into our divine providers, and that will accomplish everything exactly as you have us to accomplish it for maximum return for us and those around us.
Keep in mind that you cannot heal what you don't reveal. So remember those things that we said that we do to hide the things that's going on in our life. Instead of making ourselves better, we hide them. So reverse that today. Make you better. Don't hide it. All right, guys.
Make it a great day.
Yeah.
Or not.
The choice is always yours. God bless you.